Don't sleep on LinkedIn. It provides you visibility, credibility, and if you're not on there, then you know your competition is. This video is not sponsored by LinkedIn. This is really just sort of my years of experience. Now, creating LinkedIn posts doesn't mean that you have to start from scratch. You can do what you're already doing today. So if you're already reading some really interesting articles and you have your own hot take, but those hot takes go away as soon as you scroll off the screen, well, you can now capture those thoughts and turn them into thoughtful LinkedIn posts. And in this video, I will show you how to do that using tools like Slack, Make.com, and a fun little AI setup. So if you're ready to turn your thoughts into incredible LinkedIn posts, then grab your coffee or your drink of choice and meet me at the computer. Okay, so here we are at the computer, and this is an article that I have read and have some thoughts on. It has to do with how AI is disrupting the way that companies should be training their workers, right? And this is kind of in my wheelhouse, and training for adaptability to tech, all of those sorts of things. So this is something that I would probably want to use. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into Slack. So this is Slack. If you're not familiar with it, it's free if you're just an individual, but you may already be using this at work or whatever, but it's a great way to kind of collaborate with your team or just to kind of track different thoughts, etc., or kind of share some of your information. And you can see there's a bunch of companies that already use Slack. It's quite popular. But here, look, you can see for free, you can keep 90 days of message history. For Pro, it's more unlimited, etc., etc. But this is free. It's fine. And here's mine. So this is a channel that I've created. So you can upgrade your plan, whatever. But this is the one that I have here, where what I can do is just share this thing. But let's take a look. You can create new channels, right? So messages, channels right there. The channel is what this is. Now, if you have a pro account, of course, you can have more. I do not have a pro account. You don't need that. So here we go. Companies should build adaptable learning communities where employees experiment with AI, rather than tools that quickly become outdated. This approach reflects how AI is disrupting. I'm going to change the spelling. Traditional workplace hierarchies. Instead of flowing from top down, frontline workers' daily experience helps to make tech expertise emerge. Perfect. Then what I can do is copy and paste the link to the article right here. So that's what I've done. I've just copied and pasted that right here. Now, before I click send, I want to actually have this in a make.com. Like, you can do all kinds of different things. I'm going to put this into a make.com scenario. Now, you can use an audio clip instead. So if you'd rather speak it than type it, just depending on where you are, it might be a little bit awkward to speak it. That's why I typed it. But like, say if you're on the subway or something. Now, what we're going to do, this is platform.openai, where we're going to create an assistant. Now, you will need to have a little bit of money in here. But there you go. Just go to the left to assistants. Now, this was the last one that we did from this previous video. But that's it. We're just going to create one. I've got loads of them here. I really do like doing this. But anyway, up in the upper right, which might be cut off, you just create new. And then you just enter in a title. You can put in all kinds of information here. But what I do have, I'm going to just put in this here. is the prompt, LinkedIn article commentary assistant. So this I will have linked in the description below. Now you can change this up. I've put some, blue there so that you can change that out. So LinkedIn article commentary, we just copied and pasted that title. And then you can just kind of grab this whole entire thing and copy and paste it into your system instructions. There. So now this is it. We're just going to create this. Now, again, you're going to have a few dollars in there. $20 will last you a very long time. So you can put it like code interpreter. We're not, necessarily running code. The file search, we don't need to necessarily have a knowledge base. Custom functions, if you have custom functions, this is really just writing. The response format is going to be text, and your temperature and top key, it just depends on how loose you want to be with this, but that's fine. And then the latest API version is fine as well. But this is really all you need. It's actually, and again, it's upper right-hand corner. I don't know if my camera is cutting that off, but that's fundamentally all it is. And then you're good. This is all you really need. And then if you go into the playground, you can see it here. You could test it out if you like to as well, but I'm not going to bother because I've done this. This is not my first rodeo, obviously. So now we're back into make.com. So up in the upper right, we're going to create a new scenario. If you're not familiar with make.com, this is basically how we, it's like a workflow. If you're familiar with like just workflows. I'm going to call this article to LinkedIn. And the first thing we're going to start with is Slack. Because what we want to do is we want to go from Slack to LinkedIn. So we're going to watch a private channel. There's all of these things you can do, or a public channel, sorry. This is not private, but you can do for a private channel if you have one. Now, if you want to add in your channel, just click add, and all you have to do is authenticate. You don't actually have to worry about APIs and all of that kind of stuff. The limit is going to be 1. And then if you scroll down, once you're authenticated, it's this channel that I want to use. Save. And then I'm going to say from now on. That's why I didn't hit send on that Slack message. Next is going to be Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is great for summarizing articles. It can search the internet, etc. So all we're going to do is create the chat completion. So it's your Perplexity. You can add new as well if you don't have that already. But this is basically it. So Perplexity is really going to be part of the secret sauce here. Model, there's loads of them. So there you go. Which this one's fine. I don't really know the difference between them, to tell you the truth. The content here is going to be from the message, right? But what we're going to say is, please summarize this article in a few sentences. You say 3 to 4 sentences. And then we just click on the text. See, from the Slack module here, we just click on text. And there we go. Now the role is going to be user. There we go. And because we're only using 3 to 4 sentences, like don't worry about max tokens or temperature. That will, right, you're not going to token out. So if you don't already have a Perplexity account, get a Perplexity account. You're going to have to put a little bit of money in there as well. $5 would go a very long way, especially for something like this. It's only a couple of sentences. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to call in our ChatGPT assistant. Okay, so we've got our OpenAI connection, and we're going to message an assistant. Now, we're going to need to add in our API key if you've not done this already. So to do this, we're going to go back over to where we were, right here, just in the dashboard of platform.openai.com. On the left-hand side, you see API keys, and then you just click create new. I've got a few here myself. So with this, you make sure you save them because they will go away. Now, I do have a few here. I've deleted a few, so to try to keep it relatively clean. So I'm just going to close this because I don't need to do that. Now the assistant, I'm just clicking the commentary assistant. The role is going to be user, which is fine. Now when it comes to the message here, this is just a really simple prompt. So here is a short summary of an article. So we're going to go back to the Perplexity AI, right? And this, we're going to say, we're going to go into choices, message, and drill right down to content. There we go. So that's the summary of the article. That's part of the input for the assistant. And then we want to include our thoughts. Now, if you wanted to, right before the Perplexity, you could put in a ChatGPT whisper. So my thoughts here, it's going to come from the text. But if you put in a ChatGPT whisper, it could translate the audio from Slack, right? If you used a voice note, to text. So you would use that instead. Leave a comment below if you want to see how that's done. So please generate a LinkedIn post per the predefined instructions. So those are the instructions that we copied and pasted. Perfect. So we're not worried about an image file or any of this kind of stuff. Tool choice, we don't need to worry about any of that. We're just going to click save. Excellent. So this is it. So now we get a summary of the article. To go into ChatGPT, we've got our thoughts from Slack into the assistant. Next, we're going to go into LinkedIn and we can just post this. So there we go. We can create it. We're going to create a user text post, but look at all of the things you can do with LinkedIn here in make.com. So we're just going to create a user text post, not an image post or a video, or we're not deleting any posts. We're just going to create a user text post. There we go. Now the content, now make sure you have your connection, by the way. It's pretty simple to create. So the content's going to come from a ChatGPT, and it's going to be content, text, and value. It's pretty simple. Okay. Now, for the visibility and the main feed, you can have it at none or just on your main feed. But for the visibility, you can have it only by your connections as well, you know? And do you want the reshare disabled? I say no, because people can reshare if they wanted to, or you can say yes. And that's pretty much all you need for LinkedIn. So I'm going to scroll out. Now, this next bit is going to be optional. Of course, if you want to track this in a Google Sheet in your content calendar. So here's my content calendar. And I've got the posting date, which is blank because this could be anytime, right? The platform, I've only selected LinkedIn for now for this. But if you wanted to post this in other places, I'm sure you could. The status is planned. So this is going to be really important. So we've got planned, pending, posted. You can put in the article title if you want to, and then the LinkedIn post if you want to have the actual text from that or the post ID. It's up to you. But this is just a tracking mechanism. So we're going to go into Google Sheets and we're going to search rows. So if you want your own content calendar, we covered this in previous video here. So make sure you've got your right connection. The spreadsheet ID, and this again is a simple authenticate. It's easy. Spreadsheet ID is my content calendar. The tab name is articles. I'm going to say A to Z. Is that because I'm Canadian? We're going to put in a filter. So remember how we had the status? Status. Because once it's posted, we don't want to overwrite it. So we're going to say if it is planned, not posted, but just the first one that comes up that's in the status of planned. We're going to order by row number, which is a number, not a string. ascending, and then we're limiting it to 1 because we just want to do 1 at a time. And we'll click save. And it glitches like that sometimes, that little one, and that I just have to go back in and click save. And then now we can update the row. Now that we see what sheet we need to update, we can update a row on that sheet. So again, your connection, the spreadsheet ID is going to be the content calendar. The sheet name, of course, is articles. It's the same sheet name. And then the row number, we can link it back to this previous Google sheet, the row number, right? Because it's searching for the first planned it sees. Posting date, you can update that from your Slack message where it says date there. So click on date. Pillar and platform, we don't need to worry about. We're not updating those, but the status to post it, because we had planned, pending, and posted. So we'll say posted because we're just going to do that. I'm not going to worry about the article title right now. LinkedIn post, we can put in either your post ID, but I'm going to put in the full content. Now this helps if you want a human in the loop. So before you actually go live to LinkedIn. So if you want to review it, then you've got the content there. And then just click save. And it's done. Now, let's kind of scroll out a little bit, I think. There we go. So unfortunately, when I changed screens, it stopped recording my screen. So I've actually already, because I went back over to Slack to post this, and then I clicked a run once on this scenario. So apologies, you didn't see that run real time. It's pretty darn quick though. So now you can see the input, and here on LinkedIn, this is the posting. It says now, but it wasn't now. Here we've updated this row in our Google Sheet. Now, if I go back into my profile, right? So go up here, view profile, scrolled. And there you can see it. It was 4 minutes ago. So by the time I realized that nothing else had recorded, here we go. And this is it. It's really simple. You don't need, the Google Sheets are optional, but have fun. So there you have it, a really simple way to take your thoughts on whatever it is that you're reading or consuming and creating your own take in a LinkedIn post. Now, of course, if you want to see a little bit more detail, if you want to use voice notes and translating that or transcribing your voice notes into text, then leave a comment below. Now, if you did find this video valuable, it would mean a lot to me, and it's very valuable to my channel if you were to hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon, because you don't want to miss next week's video where we take this same scenario one step further and generate videos so you can use video content on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, or even LinkedIn. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy creating.